you have to start shooting it, and it's never going to measure up to what's in your head. So you get very defensive about it. And I think that's a disease of first-time directors, of very young directors. And then I think if you're open to it temperamentally, then you realize pretty quickly that actually what's happening is that all those people are making the thing richer and more interesting than you could ever do by just defending your ideas and getting what you want, you know?
And action. Cut.
A lot of the work that I make is born out of frustration of things that I'm not seeing in movies. You know, conversations that I'm having in my life that I'm not seeing in movies, or certain kinds of people that I'm meeting, or the certain kind of person that I am that I'm not seeing reflected. So I'm hoping the audience for those movies is also not seeing those people, or coming to the movies hoping to relate, you know, or see themselves on screen in some way.
It's easy to run the story through a kind of standard liberal arts analysis. The exact same experience can mean two totally different things to two different people, given those people's two different belief templates and two different ways of constructing meaning from experience. Because we prize tolerance and diversity of belief, nowhere in our liberal arts analysis do we want to claim that one guy's interpretation is true and the other guy's is false or bad. Which is fine, except we also never end up talking about just where these individual templates and beliefs come from, meaning where they come from inside the two guys. As if a person's most basic orientation toward the world and the meaning of his experience were somehow just hardwired, like height or shoe size, or automatically absorbed from the culture, like language. As if how we construct meaning were not actually a matter of personal, intentional choice. Plus there's the matter of arrogance. The non-religious guy is so totally certain in his dismissal of the possibility that the passing Eskimos had anything to do with his prayer for help. True, there are plenty of religious people who seem arrogantly certain of their own interpretations too. They're probably even more repulsive than atheists, at least to most of us. But religious dogmatist problem is exactly the same as the story's unbeliever. Blind certainty. A closed-mindedness that amounts to an imprisonment so total that the prisoner doesn't even know he's locked up. That amounts to an imprisonment so... The point here is that I think this is one part of what teaching me how to think is really supposed to mean. To be just a little less arrogant. To have just a little critical awareness about myself and my certainties. Because a huge percentage of the stuff that I tend to be automatically certain of is, it turns out, totally wrong and deluded. I have learned this the hard way.
But let's leave love out of this, and let's wrap this all up under the blanket of someone thinking, this is something that they'll remember me for. And they did, and we do. And sure enough, we do what we can to endure. We build our legacy piece by piece, and maybe the whole world will remember you, or maybe just a couple of people, but you do what you can to make sure you're still around after you're gone. And so, we're still reading this book. We're still singing the song. Kids remember their parents and their grandparents. And everyone's got their family tree. And Beethoven's got his symphony. And we've got it too. And everyone will keep listening to it for the foreseeable future. But that's where things start breaking down. Because your kids... Do you have kids? Wait. Who here has kids? Your kids are gonna die, yours too. Hey, just saying, they're all gonna die. And their kids will die, and so on and so on. And then there's gonna be one big tectonic shift. Yosemite will blow, and the western plates will shift, and the oceans will rise, the mountains will fall, and 90% of humanity will be gone, one fell swoop. This is just science. Whoever's left will go to higher ground, and social order will fall away, and we revert to scavengers and hunters and gatherers. But maybe there's someone who one day hums a melody they used to know.